Well, it's been a real long time since I've spilled my guts to you people. Oh my gosh, she's back to stress about everything and complain about everything, and my ears are bleeding already. I'm just gonna hear her complain and complain. Oh my gosh. You are right. My videos, my rules. And my rule today is to freak out. It's to freak out. I'm freaking out. Today I scheduled my appointment with my counselor, one of the very last appointments ever, to look over my spring schedule, which will be my very last semester ever in college, assuming I don't drastically fail all of my classes this semester. And boy oh golly, that possibility is becoming more and more real to me by the second. I almost made a video during midterms week, which was a week and a half ago is when it ended. But I was in such a frazzled state. Every time I tried to film myself, I would look back on the video and I thought, these people are going to think I'm a heroin addict who's jonesing for her next hit. Is that the right thing to say? Heroin? Is heroin like a rock? No, that's crack. Heroin is a pill. I don't know what heroin is. I don't know what it looks like. Okay? It's actually something I'm pretty okay with. I'm pretty okay with not knowing that. What was my point? There was a point. The point was, when I looked on the video, I looked so freaked out. I was fairly sure that I would freak you out. But now that I'm talking, I'm pretty sure that I look and sound the same way I did a week and a half ago. Oh my gosh. Where do I even begin? I'm losing my mind. So a week and a half ago was midterms, and some of just the hardest midterms I've ever had. And not even necessarily because the midterms themselves were hard, and they were. But because I got in my own way so much, and it's so classic me to do that. I was just filled to the brim with frustration and confusion and just fear, lots of fear. Gosh, where to begin? Let's just talk about the worst midterm ever. So, 2 essays written in about an hour's time. Essays being like written down 2 pages, but still, you know, you're in a time crunch. And that was actually essentially all my English classes were just like, hey, click, all right, everybody start writing your 2 essays, ready, set, go now. Which used to be okay to me, but for some reason, as I've gotten more and more nervous about my impending graduation, that nervousness has just kind of wrapped itself around every other aspect of my academic career and just kind of tightened up like an angry snake. So this particular midterm was pretty bad. I go and I sit down to write, right? I'm reading the prompts, I pick the ones I want to use, and I just froze. All of a sudden, every hour of class, every minute of studying, every study group, every word of every line of every page of every book I've read for this class, out goes that information just by. I sat there frozen for a good 15 minutes. It was like words just wouldn't come. Not even regular words. Like, I desperately wanted just to start something. You would think that I could at least just be like, first I'd like to start out by saying I am so happy for this opportunity to share my intelligence with you. Any kind of just introductory, like, get your brain revving, but I honestly just, nothing came. And then everything came, and then I somehow just barfed out these 2 essays that made little to no sense to me, and by the end of them I was just like, well, hope this is English. Slapped it on the table, went and got some Taco Bell, cried myself to sleep. What a day. It was a bad time. It was all me. Nobody else's fault, just me, as per usual. But yeah, it was a bad time. The Taco Bell was a good part. It was a pretty good part. The rest of it was bad. What happened? I don't know. You know, I've never been a good test taker. Like, that is the honest truth. But I've always been pretty good about essay tests because essays are where I thrive. I don't love writing them. Like, if you ask an English major if they love to write papers and they say yes, they are lying to you. I don't know why. I don't know what their intentions are. I don't know their lives, but they're lying to you. Papers and essays and research is just what we're good at. Like, you know, I'm good at these things. It doesn't mean that I like doing all these things. But despite that, I am usually fairly good at essays, which is, I guess, still the case because I got all my tests back and I got all A's. So, hooray. I still don't really remember what I wrote. I got it back, looked at the grade, and stuffed it in my backpack. It's lost there now in the abyss of other papers. I don't know. I might light it on fire by the end of this semester. Then at least it can keep me warm. Seriously, what happened? I can't remember the last time I froze up that badly. I believe it was a few years ago when I took a math class. I'm very bad at math, like horrible at math. I was the last person in the class for, I want to say, a final. Everybody had left and I had gone overtime like 15 minutes and I had like 3 questions left, and I remember I was crying. Just really awkward. The teacher was just like, it's okay, just do your best. And I ended up getting like a B- or something, and I was like, girls hit you, hallelujah. Oh, girls hit you, hallelujah. Because it meant I passed the class and all was well and no more math. But that's math. I haven't frozen up this badly, I don't think, ever in an English class or anything related to English. And it's really shaken me up. This past week, I've seriously just been sitting in all my classes thinking, what if I just think I'm good at this? Like, what if I'm just good at this in comparison to things I'm really bad at, and I'm just really bad at English? Like, I have put so much time and effort into this major. I sincerely hope that I'm actually good at it. Please? Please, that would be great. Oh, that's a can of worms best left, sealed. For now. There's way more going on in my life than that, so I want to talk about that too. I want to get it off my chest because you are my therapist today. You're welcome. Except I'm not paying you. So midterms happened. Like I said, I actually ended up doing pretty well, so, that's kind of nice. I still find myself waking up in the middle of the night and stressing over midterms, which is crazy because I have plenty of other stuff to stress over, like, finals, final papers, paper proposals, edits, fun things like that. But for some reason my mind still thinks that midterms are happening, so I'll wake up and I'm like, did I study this? And then I'll be like, oh yeah, I did that, and I got an A, we were fine, it's cool. I'm a mess. Cassidy, you mentioned that there are more things to stress over, and I was just curious, what are those things? Well, thanks for asking. I really felt like talking about that, actually. Thank you so much. Well, I registered for 2 classes today because I only need to take 2 classes next semester. I have no idea what this feels like. Seriously, this will be the first time ever I'm taking less than 15 credits. Like, what's it like to have 2 classes? I am like dying to find out. One, which is my final math class. I've put it off. I've just put it off. I didn't want to do it, but I did. And the other, which is like hey, English majors, let's all get together and talk about jobs and getting a master's and going to graduate school. Do you want a doctorate? Let's talk about that. It's all about the super scary future, and we all come together and we apply for jobs. It's great. It's great. But I suppose we'll cross that mangled, confusing, twisty bridge when we get to it. And then, like I said before, I called my counselor, who has seen my face more times than he's needed to because I'm so gosh dang paranoid that I don't think I'm competent enough to do the most simple of tasks. Like, I'll burst through his door like, hey, so, the computer says I'm in these classes, but what if instead it's just saying that and something went wrong and I didn't get these classes? What? Poor guy. Great person. Patient man. As I said, this will be one of my very last appointments with my counselor to actually sit and seriously talk about putting in, forms and whatever I need to do for the actual graduation ceremony. And I want to be excited, and everybody is asking me if I'm excited, but I am just filled with terror. Honestly, I honestly mean it. And I don't know how to make it go away. I don't know how to feel sure about everything I've decided to do up until this point. I don't know how to answer the questions, what am I going to do after I graduate? And I don't know anything. I feel like I don't know anything. And I feel like everyone around me knows everything, or at least knows enough to be confident in the baby steps that they are taking towards the future. Like, I could not tell you what is happening 1 inch in front of me, let alone miles ahead of me. And I'm sincerely hoping But that's not me being an outrageous mess of a person, so much as it is that I'm just simply not aware of other people's problems. If I could know for 1 second that people are just as lost and scared as I am, I mean, it doesn't make me less lost or less scared, but it makes me not alone. You know, it's better to be lost in a group. Or whatever. And it might just be my anxiety talking. It's very possible. I have had my fair share of panic attacks, thanks to this. But I guess people have had worse panic attacks for worse reasons. I guess I should count my blessings. At least I get to be in school, and at least I get to graduate, and at least I get to have a certificate that hopefully, possibly lands me a job somewhere. I can't believe how quickly this semester has gone by, and honestly, I really want to be excited about it, and a part of me is, but a much stronger part of me is just wrought with absolute fear and terror. So, you know, that's as excited as my anxiety will allow me to be. So what's coming up next? Well, a whole lot of paper proposals. So all my professors require that we write these long paper proposals and we kind of get our sources in order and turn them in for an approval. I am so serious when I say this. I want so badly just to write a single essay that applies to all of the classes and just turn it all in at the same time. But that doesn't do. It won't, but it won't. The thing is, it won't work because of the time periods of each class's focus, as well as, you know, one's American, one's British. You know, one is really either or, one is, you know, that, one is contemporary, one is 18th century. It's just all, you know, how do you make those connections? But I am so close to doing it anyway. Oh, Miss Sharples, what do you have for me here? Oh, that's an in-depth look at the human mind through Robinson Crusoe. I asked for a rhetorical analysis of visual work, like an advertisement. Uh-huh, yeah, you did. This isn't what, I mean, it's just not, it's, I don't understand. Yeah. Enjoy the paper. This close. Am I wallowing? A bit. A lot. My life is not so bad. My life is really good. I'm just freaking out.